Okay, so today we're going to do a quick video on how to do an oil change on a 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee. And I believe this procedure is going to be the same for, I believe it's 2011 through about 2014. I think it also applies to 2015, but there was just a minor change to the type of filter that you use in a 2015. So first thing we want to do is go to our manual here and check our specs. We've got the 3.6 liter V6. It's going to hold 6 quarts of 5W30. I've seen some other videos where the mechanics are saying use the 5W20, but again, the manual says 5W30, so I'm going to go with that. We've got the, like I said, it holds 6 quarts of oil, so we've got, I had to buy 2 jugs. Each one of these is 5 quarts, so obviously we're going to have to do a little bit more there. And then our filter right here, I've always used Wix products, never had any problems. So I'm going to stick with that. I'll shake that out here. So as you can see, it's 2 pieces. We've got the filter, and then we've got a O-ring that we're going to use to replace the old one. So some of the other things we're going to need is a funnel, and we're going to need a socket for the drain plug, which that's a 13 millimeter, and then we're going to need a socket for the filter, so that's a 15/16, and we're going to need obviously an oil catch pan and some rags over there, and that's really about all we need to get started. So let me get right into each step. So the first thing we want to do is start topside. You'll see these things made with a decorative cover with this, and you're supposed to be able to go right in there and take the filter out. That's just a big colossal hassle. It's gonna create a mess for you. So this decorative cover, it just pops right out, so we want to get rid of that. And then as you can see here, we've got the filter here, and we've got the filler right here. So we're gonna, and as you can see there, it says 5W30. So again, that might be just for this year model, but that's what the manual says. So the first thing we want to do is start top side. I've seen some other videos where they start bottom side and drain, but this is a pressurized system, so I always start from the top side. You know, it's like anything else you drain. You got to have, you know, a hole at the top so the liquid coming out the bottom can flow out more easily. Okay, so here we are. We've got everything set up. I've put some rags up around the filter here. It's not going to drip much, but no sense in creating a big mess later. And then I've got my drip pan over here. So the first thing we want to do is put our 15/16 socket on here and break this loose. Okay, so I had to cut away for a second and use 2 hands to break this free. So we're going to loosen this, get that loose, and like I said, it's a pressurized system, so we're also going to go ahead and take our filler cap and loosen that as well. And once you get this to a certain point, you can really do this by hand. And we're going to pull it out really slow here, and as you can see, there's not much drip, just a little bit, and we're going to go right over here to our pan, and we're going to leave that right there for now. So here we are. We've got our old filter out. This is where our O-ring is. This around here. That's our new one, our new filter. So short of it is, you just want to disassemble that, get your new ring back on there, maybe keep a little bit of oil on there so that seals up tight. Okay, so I got the old filter out and got the old O-ring off. And one thing to note, I had to get a little pick here to actually get my fingers on the old O-ring there and get that off. So a couple of details I want to point out. As you can see, it's got an opening here, but on this end it's made just a little bit different. So that end goes in here first. So you want to make sure you get that end with the connectors on it into your cap first thing. Now here we are bottom side, and we're going to look at finding our drain plug. It's going to be right here. As you can see, it's really easy to get to, real clear. real clear shot, no extra pans or anything like that. It's real easy to get to. And then we've got our drip pan. We want to make sure we position that a little bit ways away from the drain plug. Now when we pull that, that's going to shoot way across here and land over there. It's a good bit of oil. It's 6 quarts. So we've got our 13mm socket. We'll get that on there, and let's see if I can break it free with one hand. And I can't, so I'm gonna cut away here for a second. Okay, so I got that broken free. I can turn that with my finger. I just wanted to point out one thing, and I've seen this in other videos, so I think it's important. This is a 6-point socket, and it's really important to use that on this particular bolt. I've heard other people say those strip out really easy. So once we get to that point, we can really just loosen this with our fingers and start the flow. So here we go, it's getting close. And as you can see, it really comes gushing out of there. So it's coming out really quick, but it's gonna start slowing really fast. So you got to be ready to kind of move your oil pan. And I'm going to let this drain. I like to let it drain till it's really just down to a tiny little drip. So that'll be several minutes, and we'll come back and button this thing. So one small thing I wanted to point out while we're waiting on our oil to finish draining. This is our drain plug, and this is actually magnetic. So if you ever take this out, and this goes for any vehicle really, if you take that out and you see any kind of metal shavings or anything like that on there, you may have a problem. So just be looking for that and be aware of it and clean it off before you put it back in. Okay, so we've been draining for 2 or 3 minutes. We're just kind of down to a drip here. So I'm going to go ahead and cap this off. And then obviously we want to put our socket back on there and get that snug. I don't know the exact specifications. I had heard and read on other sources that it's 20 foot-pounds. I'm simply gonna get that really snug, and 3 or 4 turns like that, and then double hand it just a little tiny little bit, and of course you want to make sure your socket's on there real straight in a line so you don't strip that bolt head off. All right, we're back topside. We've got our filter ready to go. We're just going to put that back in there. There's really only one way it can go in. Get that kind of hand tight there. And then again, it's a 15/16 socket. So we'll get that all snugged down. And you'll want to kind of double hand tighten this away as also. So I'm going to cut away and do that and get it finished tightened up. Okay, so we're ready. We're back and we're ready to fill. We've got our funnel in there, and we've got our oil. Again, for this particular model, 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's going to be 6 quarts. So I'll get that in there, and then we'll come back to the next step. So I just want to give you a couple of quick tips here. Obviously this is made with a handle like this, and the inclination is to pour like this. These jugs are pretty nice, but it has a really wide opening, but a lot of jugs are really small, and if you pour it this way, it's going to look. But the trick is, if you could turn your jug more like this and pour like this way, it won't make that splash like that. And then also the other thing, this vehicle takes 6 quarts, and these are 5. You just simply, most jugs this size, you can see on here how much is in there, so you can actually measure that way to get that additional 6th quart out of your other jug. Okay, so we're done getting our 6 quarts of oil in there. Take our filler cap or our funnel out and put our cap back on, make sure that's good and secure. And another little tip, what I do, we have multiple vehicles and I change the oil in all of them. So I typically will, like I said, I've got leftover oil, 4 quarts still in this, so I'll use that next time. I always take a Sharpie and label that before I put it away. So I got the filler cap back on. I got our decorative cover back on. The next thing to do is we're going to back it down off the ramps. let it run for a little bit, and then this is our dipstick over here. We're going to let it run for a little bit, shut it off, and then check our oil. All right, we're getting close to wrapping things up here. Took my used oil, poured it back into one of my original containers, wrote used on it just in case it's a while before I can take it back to the recycling. And most places, you know, Pet Boys, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, they're going to have oil recycling, and also the old filter. Put it back in the box, and they'll be able to recycle that for me as well. And so we just need to move on the last step, and that's to reset the oil change indicator in the car. So here we are back in the car, and we're going to do our last step here, and that's simply to reset the oil change light. This is the keyless entry system. I'm not a big fan of it, but basically what we want to do is we need to pop this button out here and put our key in. You can take about anything that'll fit behind this button and use it to pop that out. Once you get that popped out, then you put your key in here, turn it 2 clicks, and then as soon as you do, hit the gas pedal 3 times really slow, and that is supposed to reset your oil change light. And then take that out and put your original start button back in, and then got that in, and we're on our way. Hopefully our oil change light will not come back on. So it looks like we're good to go. We didn't get the oil change light needed. That's really all there is to this thing. It's a real simple job, and probably gave you more detail than you need, but we got it done. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 5, oil change in the Jeep Grand Cherokee 2011 model, scale of 1 to 5 is really a 1 if you've got the right tools to do it. So good luck, and comment below. Let me know of anything I missed or should be done different. Take care.